Oh, I want to do my call to action. I can record that separately and you can fit it in.
No, just do it now.
Just do it at the end. Just do it at the end.
I want to put it at the top of the show, though.
Why?
Because people won't listen at the end. Today, we finally get the truth about the Nazis, Hitler, and granny banging. Luckily, you have us three here who know how to write a certified flop. We do it every week. Welcome to the final episode of the musical trilogy here on the Three Takes of Stupidity. This time, it's Mel Brooks' comedy classic, The Producers, the 2005 version. I'm joined by Chandler Monk.
Hello.
James Robbins.
Hi.
And I'm Alex Clinton III. Before we begin today, we should clarify, get the boring stuff out of the way. I was never a member of the Nazi party. I was only following orders. I had nothing to do with the war.
He's back. The last one you did, I can't believe we released it as a TikTok because it was trash. So that was back on form. We are back with the final episode in the Musicals Trilogy. This time, The Producers. An interesting film, but before that, what we've been up to?
I've been watching a fantastic new series called The Sopranos. Just started series. Meadow is there's some racial tension. I'll put it that way. And I can't remember what else I listened to, watched or listened to. Oh, I'll tell you what I have done. Listened to the soundtrack of Tick, Tick, Boom quite a lot since last week, yeah.
Have you been crying?
No, it's not a sad musical. I'm almost ready to perform the therapy song from start to finish.
I mean, that's what I want more than anything.
I got mad, then you got mad.
I want you to do the hand gestures and everything as well that they do in the film.
I'll do the hand gestures for this film. They're much easier.
All right, Elon, calm down.
James, what have you been up to?
This week, put a video out on our socials because I went to an actual theatre workshop, as mentioned in the last episode. As I said in the video, it was a coincidence. But no, it was really cool. Called Bliss. It premiered in Seattle last year. And it's clearly getting a decent amount of funding, I guess, because it wasn't a workshop presentation like Tick, Tick, Boom in a dance studio. It was in a small, intimate theatre. And yeah, it was really cool. It was about princesses locked in a tower, these four sisters, but they escape and then they are discovering that the world that they live in expects them to be these prim and proper princesses with no substance about them whatsoever. And basically they all have their own personalities and interests, and but they're told that they need to behave a certain way for the prince. And yeah, it's really fun. Just subverts the Disney princess, basically. But it was really cool.
Was it based on Meghan Markle's life, or is that just a coincidence?
Just complete coincidence. Yeah, complete coincidence. Yeah, I heard she might be starring it next year. That's not true.
Love the clarification you needed.
She does love suing people.
Yeah, they're not going to spread fake news here. And then in terms of shows I'm watching, Daredevil Born Again released the 4th season of Daredevil, and so good. It completely captured the magic from the first 3. It's dark, it's gritty, the characters are amazing, just brilliant. The first episode is, I have no spoilers, but the first episode just punches you in the face. So good.
Literally comes out the telly and just
yeah, literally, yeah. No, he nuts you, but I just didn't want to sound uncouth. But it's just so good. Very happy it's back. It's so brutal. Can't believe they're allowing that on Disney Plus. Great stuff. Glad they got all the old cast back as well, because they weren't going to at first, and I think that would have been awful. But they were like, nah, let's just rope it all into the grander universe, which is great. But Daredevil's great. You don't have to watch anything else to enjoy Daredevil. I recommend the series to anyone. If you don't like Marvel, then it doesn't matter. Go watch Daredevil.
Now that James has been nutted on by a Daredevil, Chandler, what have you been watching?
So last week I spoke about I went to see Inside Number 9 on stage. My partner wanted to actually watch the TV show, so we've been binging that. Like we watched, I think, like 6, nearly 7 seasons of it all in the past week because it's amazing. And yeah, actually on topic for this record, I went to go see a production of The Producers on stage in a small theatre in London Bridge.
Oh, sick. it?
It was actually a present from my partner for Christmas. I've noticed, as we're going to get into, it's one of my favourite musicals, and there was a production of it in a small theatre in London Bridge, so we went to go see it. That production is now going to be moved to the West End. I think that's going to start from August. So, and it was really, really good. It was really, really enjoyable.
It is coming back to the West End, which is cool. Might try and see it when it's back.
I'd highly recommend it. Other than that, nothing else really.
Broke your knee.
I did break my knee. I haven't broken my knee. I severely messed my knee up playing football the other night. The most annoying thing about it, no one was around me. It wasn't from a tackle. I took a shot and then I went down like a sack of potatoes because my knee just went. And I've been on crutches since. It's been a great week.
If you were in FIFA or Football Manager, you'd have the injury-prone trait.
100%.
Because you hurt yourself all the time.
I was trying to use me going to see the producers on stage as a nice segue to get in and talk about the film, by the way.
I liked the undertone of rage from Chandler when he was like, "This is my favourite musical. I really enjoy it. I love nothing more in this world than the producers. And anyone who doesn't will be destroyed."
Well, that might tell you a little bit about what we were talking about off record. So, shall we start with the film?
Yeah. So let's get the housekeeping out of the way. We are going to look at The Producers, the 2005 version, which is a adaptation of the Broadway musical of The Producers, which in turn is an adaptation of the 1967 Mel Brooks classic, The Producers. So it is about failing producer Max Bialystock and his accountant Leo Bloom, who scam a group of elderly women out of their nest eggs by convincing them to invest in a horrendously offensive Third Reich-themed musical, secretly intended to bomb the moment it opens. But when highbrow Broadway audiences mistakenly assume Springtime for Hitler is a satire, Bialystock finds himself with the critical acclaim that has long eluded him, and the biggest hit of his career. So on IMDb, this got a 6.4 out of 10, and on the tomato meter, it got a 51%, and the popcorn meter a 63%. And to me, that is criminally underrated.
I think it's bang on.
Yeah, pretty accurate to me as well.
You guys, I hate you and I want to quit the podcast.
Before we really go into the film, can we touch on the absolute star-studded cast?
Yeah, so Bialystock is played by Nathan Lane. Leo Bloom is played by Matthew Broderick. Ulla is played by Uma Thurman.
No, say her full name.
Ulla Inga Hansson Swanson Talen Harlan something Swedish.
Ulla Inga Hansson Benson Janssen Talen Harlan Svarden Swanson.
I wasn't too far off.
No, you actually. I was very impressed with the first 4 names.
Yeah. Franz Liebkin was played by Will Ferrell. Carmen Gia was played by Roger Bart. Roger Debris is played by Gary Breach.
I love that he was played by someone called Gary.
John Barrowman is just there.
Yeah. So the people I mentioned, all of them are played. So as I said, this is a adaptation of the Broadway musical. So Nathan Lane, Matthew Broderick, Roger Bart, Gary Breach are all in the original. They're the original Broadway cast. It's only Ulla and Franz who aren't played by their original Broadway cast due to scheduling differences and things.
Yeah. And Nathan Lane won a Tony Award, I believe, for this.
He deserves it for this.
This Broadway musical is the musical with the most amount of Tony wins ever.
What?
That's crazy.
It must be a lot better on stage than it was on film.
Yeah.
I hate you guys. So fun. There's a little funny story. So Hamilton actually got, I think, if I remember correctly, Hamilton got the same amount of Tony nominations as The Producers, but because of multiple people getting nominated in multiple categories, it didn't end up winning. I think it got one less Tony win than The Producers. So Mel Brooks wrote a letter to Lin-Manuel Miranda basically saying, "Nice try." Was the gist of it or something like that. But yeah.
I like that. That's fun.
But I love this. My genuine background with this film. I saw this film in the cinema when it came out. I would have been about 9, I think, which is probably far too young to watch this film.
There it is, everyone. Bingo cards at the ready.
Every week he watched something too young. Man saw 2 Girls, 1 Cup at 4. I really enjoy this film. I loved it as soon as I saw it in the cinema. Is this the first time you guys ever seen it?
Ever even heard of it or the original?
Yeah, it's the first time I've seen it and heard of it.
Have either of you seen the original? Out of interest.
No.
Fair enough. Either of you any seen, like, as I said, this is written by Mel Brooks. Have either of you any watched any Mel Brooks before?
I've watched Spaceballs.
You watched the first half of Spaceballs.
No, I've watched all of Spaceballs now.
Okay. Is that the only one? So you've not seen Blazing Saddles, Young Frankenstein, High Anxiety, anything like that?
No.
Fair enough. I love, as I said, Mel Brooks is one of my comedy heroes. I think he's brilliant. I think most of what he's written and done is amazing. So yeah, this is why that's up there.
Yeah, I think this is the first thing I've seen from Mel Brooks that wasn't a acting role.
You've seen Mel Brooks in, like, acting?
Probably. I mean, I've seen his voice in Hotel Transylvania.
Brilliant.
So you've seen his voice.
Yeah, seen it. I see sounds. Some people have beautiful voices. Yours two are, they're fine. They have their moments, high points. Sometimes look like a Pollock. Sometimes look like Pollock.
Brilliant. But no, when this film starts off and you get, like, do you not really enjoy... I think the first song of opening night really sets you up. It sets you up. It like, you think we're in for someone who's an amazing theatre producer and stuff, and then the song just instantly turns and goes, this guy's shit. He's done it again. Max Bialystock has done it again.
Yeah, I enjoyed that first opening number, the first song called Opening Night. But then we move into meeting Max Bialystock and Leo Bloom going to be his accountant, check his books for the IRS. That scene, as good as that opening number was, that first scene with Bialystock and Bloom is so unnecessarily and painfully long that it completely sucked any enjoyment I had from that first number. It's so
Really?
long, and most of it's just Bloom screaming. Everything in that scene could be shorter and tighter. I think, genuinely, remembering when I watching the entire film, I think that was the longest scene in the film.
It is the longest scene without a song.
And it's painful. Like, I found that so painful. And then the film, and it built me back up after that point, but it set me off on a real low note. I'm like, come on, get on with it now. This is you've told me everything I need to know. This is just unfunny slapstick at this point. Like, you've overdone the humor of Bloom screaming and having a psychotic episode. Like, okay, I get it. He's a nutter. Now can we move on? Like, Christ, that first scene, I liked it, and then I hated it.
I have so many things to say. Like, I came into this with the opening night I really enjoyed it, mainly because I was introduced to the producers by Larry David in Curb Your Enthusiasm. So I knew that song. So I was like, oh yes, here we go. But then I think the Paris effect started to set in about that scene you're talking about, where it was really long. Because I'd heard such good things. I was really looking forward to watching it. I really enjoyed the first song. And then, yeah, the pacing of that scene. It's performed very theatrically. Nathan Lane's fantastic, but
yeah, he's amazing.
It's a stage performance on screen.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting you say that. So what I'd say is there's actually a song cut out. So there's a from the play, there's a song in between opening night and you meeting Leo. It's called The King of Broadway, which is Max Bialystock basically saying, I used to be the king of Broadway production. It's a really good song. It's a really famous one from the actual show, but they decided to cut it out for timing. I completely disagree. I think all the comedy works, and I think it all sets up for how, like, and how much of a nutter Leo is.
I think you're going to have a nostalgia trip.
And then B, how much, like, Bialystock is, like, fallen down. It's like, well, I used to wear $500 suits and now I wear a cardboard belt. It's not brilliant. Yeah. It's brilliant. All the jokes land so well. And the acting, I think, yes, Nathan Lane is brilliant. I also think Matthew Broderick is very, very good in this role. They're both really, really good actors, obviously. Nathan Lane is one of my favourite actors, I'll be honest. And I genuinely think that if I could sing, Max Bialystock would be a perfect role for me. I've always thought this.
Chandler, we will invest in a green screen if you can act some parts out of him, and I will be thrilled to see that.
Done. Okay. Sold. But no, as Alex said, it's like a Broadway performance put to screen. And as I was watching this for the first time in a while, I did notice that a lot of the actual camera shots were basically just like you're sitting in an audience of a Broadway show, of a musical show. Because they're very much like wide shot of the office. Very few like cutaways and single shots from different angles throughout like the first half, essentially, minus like the musical numbers.
I think it suffers from that point because in a musical, obviously, you're not going to have that many location changes or scene changes as a film. And I think we have to, like, we can identify now that for you, Chandler, this is going to be a nostalgia trip where you love this film and you're going to find it hard to critique it in ways. I never said the jokes don't land. I said it all goes on for far too long.
So what you're saying is you like the comedy, but it just goes on for too long.
Yeah, and I got very bored.
So basically, what you're saying is you want a film to be a TikTok length.
No, not at all.
30-second jokes.
Absolutely not. But like,
I don't have the attention span to last with a comedy scene for more than 2 seconds.
But that song that you mentioned, the idea that they cut it out for length when this scene is stupidly long, and they could have easily cut out half of Bloom's psychotic episode of screaming. I didn't find the blanket that funny. I just thought it made me think he was a creep. But yeah, the cardboard belt and Bialystok clearly being a freaking wheeler dealer who reminded me of Only Fools and Horses was great. The actors brought me back in a lot of the time. The rest of the film isn't like this. No scene in the film is that long. This is just this first scene I found.
I would agree with that. I would agree with that. I did feel the length when I was watching it as well. However, I was still enjoying it.
Yeah, my note is so much unnecessary shit in this first scene. I get it. The accountant's a nutter. It's not funny now.
But then he does calm down and come up with the whole scheme of the film. You can make more money with a flop than with a hit. And I have never looked this up, but I really want to know if that you could actually do that. Can you money launder through musical production?
You probably can, but you would hate to have the producers used against you in a court of law, wouldn't you? That's the worst nightmare for you.
Can you guys confirm that I had the right understanding of how they were doing it? Because I wasn't sure. But the idea was they get a load of backers' money.
Yeah.
I.e., in this case, we find out Bialystok is shagging grannies for money.
Yeah. He's going to throw himself into little old lady land.
And then if it flops and they haven't made the money back, they won't have to pay the backers back and not pay them any interest. So they just pocket what they have because they've made $1 million and made a musical for $100,000 and then it's closed.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, good. I was like, am I right?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Basic economics. Well done, James.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? Numbers cause me physical fear.
Three takes of economics coming out next week.
The fact there's a number in our titles gives me the heebie-jeebies.
Coming back to it, I think, yes, maybe the length of the scene is quite long, but I think it sets it up really well going into We Can Do It, because it's like, Nathan Lane's like, right, I'm going to take this idea and run with it. And Leah's like, no, I'm a coward. I'm a chicken. Like, I'm going to sit back and just go back to my little accountant life. Like, I like opening night, We Can Do It, straight into Unhappy with all the accountants. Like, can you not admit that these songs are brilliant? They're so well written, and there's jokes within them land as well. Right, that silence went on for a bit too long, didn't it?
Alex's face.
I enjoyed the songs. No, did I? As I said, like opening night, loved it. Really excited. We Can Do It. I caught the jokes in there. Quite fun. I Want to Be a Producer. I think we could have left that one out. We could have left that one out and brought in the other one.
But well, from a musical standpoint, you can't, because I Want to Be a Producer is like Leo Bloom's like I Want song. Like I want. Do you know what I mean? Very much on the nose. But in most musicals, the main character has like a I want song. Their thing of driving them forward.
The songs were fine. I'm never going to listen to them outside of this film or musical.
Bollocks.
I absolutely will not.
No, I don't think I will.
I listen to this soundtrack at the gym occasionally.
Yeah, but Chandler, I know your music playlist. When me and Chandler used to work together, we had a blend on Spotify of our music taste, and I have listened to so many musicals I haven't seen through that playlist. And trust me, the stark contrast of going from Childish Gambino to Operation Mincemeat, which good music to be fair, is quite wild and quite a shift. And then also listening to rap music and then going to even Hamilton, which again, great music, is very odd. So Charlie, you say you listen to this is not a surprise to me at all. Like
I love this
your
film.
music taste peak is musicals, and that's great. But it's not a surprise.
What's the strangest song for someone to hear coming out of your headphones when you're at the gym? Is it Heil Myself? Or is it Keep It Gay? You just, how is this motivating you?
I imagine how myself.
Well, Springtime for Hitler.
Don't you can't quantify something so keep things gay to fascism, Alex. It's very wild, different.
Yeah,
thing.
no, that's what I mean. Like, do either motivate you? I don't think.
Yeah.
Obviously, the Guten Tag Hopklapp, that is going to motivate you. That's got actions in it.
That was funny. I just want to say, Alex, and you saying I want to be a producer could be gone. I do think that's important with an important song when Leopold Bloom quits his job.
Yeah, it's important as well to keep John Lovitz in it as well.
Yeah.
In the same as the last scene, it could have been a lot shorter.
No.
You did not need that. There is background artists in that seat. You know where they're in the accountant's office and they're all like they've got the little hats on and they're doing that, the little thing. There's so many background actors that I'm like, you are desperate to steal this show. There's one that's overacting so much.
I think what was different with this musical is it felt like classic musicals. There's more focus on dance numbers and overarching performance, whereas I feel like musicals I see now, there's not a big long dance break. Is always with lyrics, whereas I think, they truly elongate everything in this to show off. One, fair enough, I did not know Matthew Broderick could, one, sing that well, dance that well. Incredible performer. But that was something I'm not used to.
So it's interesting you say that. So the original film that Mel Brooks wrote in the 60s, the original name was going to be called Springtime for Hitler because he was actually going to do it as a Broadway play. Not a Broadway musical, but a Broadway play. And Mel Brooks comes from a time and an era where he loved going to see Broadway musicals. And that's what, like, when he got the chance to write this, adapt it, his film to be a Broadway musical, he was like very much like an ode to old Broadway musicals.
Okay.
And then obviously the chance to put it into a film, I think that a lot of that did stay. And I'll come on to some of the dance breaks later on in the film because I think there is a bit where you do hit a lull in the middle of the film.
Okay, interesting. I did like the dance breaks, but I think it's an understanding of the genre, to be honest, to be able to appreciate it, because, you might just think they're a bit long or unnecessary. But this is, later in the film, there is a song called Keep It Gay, and they're talking about keeping it flamboyant and razzle-dazzle, and there's a lot of razzle-dazzle in this movie,
But just before we get to the scene of them reading all the plays.
I enjoyed that.
Is really good. No? Like, I love the bit of Max opening a play. It's like, he awoke one day to find himself turned into a giant cockroach. Too good. that is an awful play.
That's Ant-Man. That's just Ant-Man.
But I watched it with Emily and my partner, and she goes, it's metamorphosis, basically.
But I love the whole bit. I love the whole bit of like, he's like, Max finds the play and goes, and obviously see it, smell it, touch it, kiss it. And Leo just reads it. He goes, well, I've actually got the line written down, I think. Welcome to Springtime for Hitler, a gay romp with Ava and Adolf at Birkenstockton. And then just the realization on his face of like, oh my God, what the fuck is this? It's a love letter to Hitler.
That line is just, it's like prime Mel Brooks.
Yeah.
I think that's what he thinks regularly. He's like, genuinely, if someone said to him, this just sounds like a love letter to Hitler, he would have went, thank you.
But it's really good. But it's really good in the way of like, I really like. Obviously, they're trying to find a flop, and this has got to be closed by page 4. Like, not even anyone will like sit through it to the end. They're like, we all hate Hitler. This is not going on stage.
I said at this point when the love letter to Hitler, and then moving on to meeting the author of the play, played by Will Ferrell, Franz Liebkind. I said to my partner, Alex is gonna love this.
Did you not enjoy Will Ferrell playing a Nazi? 'Cause I did.
I did.
Yeah.
But I don't know what changed.
As soon as there was any wartime history, and one thing, a bit of self-gratification for us. We haven't done this in a while. A bit of self-gratification. You've met my partner a few times, but not enough that she knows the intricacies of your personality and your loves and hates in this world. But she does understand from listening to the podcast your love for old-timey, war-timey documentaries and movies, and also documentaries on murders. And I said, as soon as I said...
That's not all I watch.
I said, Alex is going to love this. And she's cracking up going, yeah, he will. And I was like, what's even better is you don't know this stuff about Alex without listening to this podcast. And she then laughs some more.
I did really enjoy it. I really, really enjoyed it. That's why I started this episode with that quote from Franz Liebkin.
But it's really good. Did you not enjoy the pigeon doing a Nazi salute?
I did. I
Brilliant.
That was the first time I actually laughed out loud.
Yeah, I laughed as well. So Chandler's nostalgic about this film. I'm going to bring some small bits of nostalgia back for early listeners of Three Takes of Stupidity. This is when the chuckle chart came back.
Hey!
Because, yeah, that pigeon salute had me cracking up. Like, Franz Liebkin's a comical character no matter what. He's played by Will Ferrell. He's fun. But I wasn't, like, laughing out loud. But, yeah, the pigeon salute and then him claiming that they've been brainwashed by the BBC.
I wrote that down.
It's the BBC.
I knew you would.
I wrote that down, and when James, and it was like, James loved that line.
I pissed myself. I thought it was so funny.
The filthy BBC.
Yeah, I laughed so much. And their face is just like, Christ.
I really enjoy the comparison of Hitler being a painter to Winston Churchill.
Yeah.
He could paint an entire apartment in one afternoon. 2 coats.
He's trying to send pigeons to Argentina.
Yes, yeah. I love that line. I really love that. As people may not know at home, a lot of Nazis fled to Argentina.
I'd like to think they knew.
But this is Will Ferrell at like the peak of his powers, isn't it? 2005, like, and he's doing Elf, Anchorman.
I was shocked that he was about 37 years old here. I'm like, Will Ferrell's lived such a long life. Come on, Will.
Did you want to see a younger Nazi, an older Nazi?
No, I thought I was surprised. Yeah. Oh God, this is getting deep.
For all the Nazis that I've met, his age wasn't right.
I was thinking about grandparents the other day and how they've lived such a massive life that they've been in your life your whole life for the most part, but you've only been like a smidgen of their life.
Where are you going?
So when Will Ferrell coming up as 37 here, I thought maybe he was like 28, which because I never thought about how old he is. So wow, Will Ferrell's been around for ages.
Do you wish Will Ferrell was your granddad?
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
That sounds fantastic.
Granddaddy Ferrell.
That sounds fantastic.
That sounds pretty good, to be fair.
Yeah, like, why not?
I really enjoyed the actual song that he sings of Der Guten Tag Cup Club, of him just beating the shit out of them. Like, slap, slap, then just smacking them on the ass. Great song. And then the little bit of them doing the Siegfried Oath, which I'm pretty sure isn't real, but I've never looked it up. Really, really good.
With me and Alex doing the hand gestures right now.
Yeah, I really enjoy the.
I'm not even listening to what Chandler's saying. I'm just doing this out of habit.
No, when he's finished, I'll stop.
I really enjoy the Max Bialystock of basically telling Leo we're not in too deep. Like, it just shows that producer thing of we will do anything to get what we want done. And then Adolf Elizabeth Hitler. You see, this is what I mean. I'm literally just quoting lines from the film like I do most of every other podcast, and you are laughing. You love this film secretly.
The key to a podcast is fake laughing.
No. I enjoyed the film because it is very quotable.
Yeah.
But just quotes. The whole thing is very 65% on Rotten Tomatoes.
What was it on IMDb?
6.4.
Just for audience not viewing a video podcast, when Leo and Max aren't, when Franz isn't looking at them during the Siegfried Oath, they are giving the finger to the camera, which did make me chuckle.
This moves us on to Keep It Gay, which again, I think is probably my second favourite song from the show. And I watched this with my partner as well. And I think she got very annoyed at me because I was singing along to every single song. Probably at this point as well. If it wasn't for my knee that I've recently injured, I think I'd be up dancing as well to every song.
To this song?
Yeah. Love this song.
On the quotations, I love the quote when they arrive at the house where it's like, may I take your hat, your coat, and your swastikas?
Oh yeah, they were still wearing the swastikas. Yeah, they were forced to wear the swastikas, the armband.
The joke I actually think that it goes underrated in this bit, and that it's repeated again later on in the film, is that Carmen Gia is Roger Debris' common law assistant.
Okay.
Because it's like, basically, because this film's set in the 1950s, right?
Yeah.
Where you can't be gay.
Yeah.
Like, outwardly.
Yeah.
So they're obviously together, so it's his common law assistant. Did you guys not pick up on that?
I picked up that they were clearly together and they couldn't.
Yeah.
But I mean, they're calling each other sweetheart and darling the entire time.
Yeah.
They were a lot of fun.
But again, very theatrical performances from Gary Breach and Roger Bart. But they're so perfect. They're so over the top and so funny.
Yeah, so they want to turn Springtime for Hitler more into a gay romp and to have Germany win the war in the second act. They're like, a musical needs to be happy, it needs to be triumphant, you need to keep it gay.
It's brilliant.
And then you get into the performance. He brings down Roger's a theatre director, and he brings all of his staff down from the stairs, and this got a chuckle from me. So he's bringing down basically gay stereotypes. He's got a production designer, wardrobe, etc. And then the last person is I forgot her name.
Shirley Markovitz.
Shirley, who's a lesbian, and they're all just so there's just such painful caricatures. But her sudden appearance is very funny.
And did you not enjoy the keep it gay, keep it gay,
yeah,
keep it gay? Little head nods as well.
And then the village people appear.
Yeah.
And join the dance.
Because when the rule is, when mounting a play, keep it gay, keep it gay, keep it gay. Brilliant. It's so funny. I'm sorry. It is brilliant. The whole thing of like Mel Brooks is just obviously Mel Brooks is satire, and it's brilliant. It is so brilliantly done in this film. I can't believe you didn't like it.
Yeah. Was this in the 67 version? Because I think obviously in 67 that is shocking. Now, not so shocking.
Hey, you're nearly in the 70s, and 60s was all hippie, and 70s free love, right? So maybe not.
I don't know.
Bad.
I don't know enough about.
Well, obviously, so the original film isn't a musical. Like, there's no singing. I think there's one song when they actually. I think there's one song. Do you know what? My plan was to actually watch the original as well in prep, but I didn't have time. But yeah, it's not a musical. The original film.
Didn't have time. Aren't you stuck at home with a broken knee?
Yes, I quiet you. So yeah, there's the songs aren't in the original show, but I think the only one, there's a little song when they put the play on at the end. But I think the sentiment of each scene is still the same. So I think the sentiment is in the original, we're gonna make the play gay, more happy.
Yeah, I was gonna say they also might have taken the OG meaning.
And then we cut to them being back at the office with Leo still with his like feather boa and his hat on and things. And I really enjoy the way where he's like, do you know what? I never thought, being a Broadway producer, I would dance the conga with a policeman, a fireman, and a lovely looking Indian man.
Christ.
Uma Thurman's here. Oh, sorry. To give her a proper name. Wait.
Play the whole thing.
Wait.
Ula, Inga, Hansen, Swanson, Tarlan, Harlan, Swanson.
Later Bloom. There you go. But yeah, they're back at the apartment. And then...
It's the office. It's not the apartment, it's the office.
Office, yeah.
It's the...
Yeah, but he sort of lives there, doesn't he?
Max might live there, yeah.
I really like when you've got it flaunted. Mostly just because, like, the jokes, again, in the scene. I think the song's okay. I like the juxtaposition of her trying to make an actual like proper audition and them just like leering over her. I think that's really good visually to look at, like the juxtaposition of the comedy of it.
Unbelievably 2000s.
Yeah.
And unbelievably 1950s. Like basically Uma Thurman's there to be an ogled pin-up. Like we've moved beyond this, but classic. Yeah, they both basically say they're just trying to get it on. But she
there's always room in the play for the producer's girlfriend.
I didn't realise how tall Uma Thurman is.
6 foot, something like that.
I know Nathan Lane is small, but she is huge.
My favourite line from this scene is at the end of the song. They're all sat down on the couch. Nathan Lane looks at Uma Thurman and goes, "Darling, even though we're sitting down, we're giving you a standing ovation." And then they cross their legs. It's brilliant. See, you love it.
Again, quotes. Quotes, not the whole thing.
Can you name, so after they hire her, here's a good question. Can you name Ula's morning routine?
Oh, I can tell you what she's doing at 11.
But before you think on that, just to say, she just shows up for casting. They're not even holding casting.
Can you name Ula's morning routine? Was the original question.
I was letting you think. Give you thinking time.
He doesn't need thinking time. He asked the question.
For you. It's for you.
For
both of you.
All
I don't
I
know.
said was, I know what she does at 11. I don't know. I can't
She
remember
wakes
anything
up at like
past that.
5. She wakes up at like 5 a.m. to exercise between 5
Yeah.
and 7,
Yeah?
and then she has her traditional Swedish breakfast
No,
of
you
lots
missed
of herring.
something. You missed something. So at 7 to 8, Ula like to have long shower. I'm
Oh,
stop doing the
yeah.
accent. 8 to 9, Swedish breakfast with many different herrings. 9 to 11, she likes to practice her singing and her dancing. And at 11 a.m., what does she like to do, Alex?
She likes to have sex.
What time should she come?
11.
11.
Oh, good. I'm going to come at 11. I wrote that down.
That sounds like you're making like a naughty joke.
That's the joke in the show, in the film.
It is a naughty joke.
What time should she come?
It's like fucking Steve Beebe's. Oh, it sounded like you made a naughty.
You did. Made a naughty.
And then we go into the scene of him trying to raise all the money. And again, another quotable line is like, how much of our own money do we put into the show? And Max tells him there are 2 cardinal rules of being a Broadway producer. James, what's rule number 1?
Never put your own money in the show.
And Alex, what was rule number 2?
Never put your own money in the show. And you'll have to turn down my peeking there.
And then I love the next little interaction of get it, got it, good. But now it's time for Max to launch himself into little old ladyland.
Yeah, I do love the next song where he's basically just
Shagging all the old women.
shagging a load of grandmas. And then as quickly as it begins, he's back at the office like, I've made the $2 million.
But here's a very good point, right? Here's the thing about this song of like, yes, he is shagging old women and getting their money. Basically a prostitute. But at least he's giving them something to live for. Like they say in the song, they were hopeless, they were joyless, and then along came Bialy.
So at $2 million back in 1958 is now worth just under $22 million.
Yeah, I could live off of that for the rest of my life.
That is an interesting piece of research.
So in the show, this is the end of Act 1. Along came Bialy. And I think, and going back to the dance breaks, and this will move us on into that phase as well, which is the first song out into Act 2. I do agree that there's a really long dance break in this song. And at the end of Along Came Bialy, there's a little reprise of I Want to Be a Producer and We Can Do It in the show. And then you have intermission, and then you have Act 2, and then you have that phase, which again also has a really long dance break. And I do think when you're watching it as a film, this is where the film has a little bit of a lull. I would agree. Because there's nothing in between the really long dance break of Along Came Bialy into the really long dance break of that phase in those 2 songs, with no intermission, no reprise in the middle, and not that much talking. It does hit a little bit of a lull. I would agree with that.
I think you're right. And it definitely...
I would agree with what you said earlier.
It definitely shows the difficulty in... Because if I'm right, Chandler, this film, as you said, is a movie that was made into a musical that's been made back into a movie.
Correct.
But a musical movie. And I think that when you sit down to watch a movie, you're sitting down to watch performances and plot, like actor performances and plot, ultimately. You're there for the story. Whereas in a musical, when you go to a musical, you're just there for the story, but you're there for dance numbers, singing, etc., etc. You know what you're in for when you go into the medium you're watching. And I think, as you say, at this point, with such long dance numbers, when you're there to watch a film and you want the story to keep rolling and progressing and kind of, you want to find out what's going to happen, definitely kind of takes you out a little bit. And I think, you're right. I think you're completely right. If there was an intermission or a gap between the 2 songs, or maybe less of a dance number, you wouldn't have that lull.
How do you fix it though? Like in the actual movie, like, do you just put like a big board? Well, actually, yeah, they probably could have just put a big board up that just says intermission, and then just taking it down 2 seconds later and gone, hope you enjoyed it. That's very
that's very Mel Brooks, to be fair.
It's very Mel Brooks.
That would be very Mel Brooks.
You could have the Along Came Bialy could have been a song with like with a bit more montage. I know it kind of is a montage anyway, but just cut the dance number.
Yeah, you cut out half of the dance bit within each song, and I think that can help it. But hey, I'm not EGOT winning Mel Brooks, so what the fuck do I know?
Hey, critics only gave this like a 6, so.
And then it leads us on, as I said, we get into that phase, which is basically Leo and Ula becoming a couple. I do love the music in it. I think the music's really nice, and listening to it's like a really sweet song. But yeah, I don't think you need the big long dance number in the middle.
It's out of nowhere.
Of them having sex behind the couch, essentially.
No, they don't. They don't.
Oh yeah, true.
I thought they did, but
that's actually a good point.
Says no. He
hugs and kisses. You're right. You are right.
And then later on, Ula's like, yeah, we had to get married, otherwise he wouldn't have sex with me.
What a schmuck.
But yeah, that it kind of comes out of nowhere. Like in some of the songs, she's taken a shine to him. But it does feel pigeonholed.
It's there to try and artificially trying to wedge between Max and Leo. Because like literally just before we were introduced to Ula, they say to each other, nothing and no one will come between us. And then Ula's directly introduced.
Yeah, and then Max doesn't really care.
No, which is good. Which is good in a friendship, isn't it?
But yeah, it did feel odd.
Max has got his grannies.
He doesn't need anyone else.
True.
Nope.
Army of grandmas.
And I do love the line of when Max comes in, and I think it's actually before the song starts. Max comes in and goes, "No one will ever know what I had to do to raise this money." And then Ula goes, "I know. You had to shtup every little old lady in New York." Yes, that's right. And I've got the denture marks to prove it. He's into some freaky stuff.
Again, great quote. Bang.
This podcast should be called 3 Takes of Quotes.
It's casting time.
It is casting time, and I love the whole scene of goose step. I love it so much. It's so funny. It's so good to watch.
I liked it. It's like, can we get Jacques Lapidou?
Yeah.
Jacques Lapidou to someone trying to audition for Hitler. They're like, no, I think it's Jack
Lapidus.
Yeah, Jack Lapidus. But they're all crap. And then we get Will Ferrell's Haben Sie gehört das Deutsche Band?
Excuse me, it's Haben Sie gehört das Deutsche Band?
Yeah, that's right. I have a misspelling in there.
I love the bit of like the Führer. The Führer wasn't some mousy little man. The Führer was Butch. I can't believe I've just said that. I can't believe I've just said that on record.
It's gonna be a tough next family reunion for you.
My family love this film. My family will love this film. I'm really jealous of my mum, dad, and my eldest sister because they actually got to see the West End performance of this with Nathan Lane and Lee Evans, which would have been amazing.
Oh, what, Lee Evans playing Leo Bloom?
Yeah.
Oh, that would have been good.
That's fun.
Yeah. Sweaty, but fun.
Oh, poor man. Ferrell gets the role of Hitler. The author is Hitler. No one's going to be better.
I feel like Will Ferrell would love to play Hitler in action in like another show.
Definitely.
Yeah, or you could just go wild and because you just take the piss as much as you want. No, like you can go full in. No one's going to complain except for
Nazis.
No one's going to complain except for Nazis.
As quickly as we've cast, it's opening night. And we have a scene with Roger, the director, Carmen Gia, Max and Tony. Not Tony.
Tony?
Bloom.
Tony the Tiger?
Max and Leo and Will Ferrell, France. And it's basically just to get the song You Never Say Good Luck on opening night because Leo says good luck. That is bad luck. It should be break a leg. And it's straight away Franz falls down some stairs and breaks his hip, his leg, and his arm and everything. And they immediately have to find a new Hitler before the show starts.
I really enjoyed this scene. It was very much a callback to like you said, old musicals. Like the camera work, everything about it. The little comedic line of when Will Ferrell falls down the stairs. I can't remember exactly what he shouts up, but it's something like, I think I broke my other leg.
My leg. That's later on. But I love this because I think it's a little play on how superstitious people are in like acting or the arts. And obviously, because they met, like, you know, there's a whole thing about saying the name of the Scottish play. Do you guys not know that? James doesn't know that either. So like, if you mention the name of a Shakespeare, if you mention Macbeth, basically it's bad luck. And Alex is doing the little routine from Blackadder, I think. Yeah.
I think they do something. I think they got like hocus pocus something, and then squeeze each other's noses.
Yeah. But yeah, this whole thing of like how superstitious actors are. And then, as Alex said, yeah, the line of him shouting back up to "I broke my leg." Did you not find it was very reminiscent of Austin Powers when Will Ferrell does that? He falls down a cliff and breaks his leg.
Oh yeah, yeah. I know. Yeah, I didn't at the time. I do now.
You do now.
A lot of the humour in the entire film is slapstick as hell. It's very,
great.
very slapstick. It is funny.
Great. And then, yeah, you're right. And then, yeah, Roger has to become Hitler. But do you not see the other little fourth wall break of when Max goes, "You're always moving your lips along with the actors," and Roger is moving his lips along with Nathan.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, loved that.
Great little fourth wall breaks. Brilliant comedy. Great acting.
So,
amazing.
Funnily enough, at the theatre workshop of Bliss I went to, one of the main characters was unable to sing. Doctor advised him not to sing for a little bit. So he would do his spoken performance, but one of the writers was off stage, the side, singing for him, and he would lip sync, and it was actually really good. The author could sing really well, and I thought that was funny. He could have probably got another role. Watching the author on the side copying all the motions to get into character was really great, and yeah, this reminded me a lot of that.
Fair enough. That's cool, actually. And then we get the very famous scenes of springtime for Hitler and Germany.
So yeah, okay. I realised at this point, when the play started, I would much rather never watch The Producers again, but I'd love to watch Springtime for Hitler. Springtime for Hitler is not The Producers, and it's the best part of the film. The show within the show is the best bit of the film.
The best part? I don't think it's the best part.
Nah, it's the best part. Everything else is pretty average.
It's great. John Barrowman, as you said before, is really good.
Just comes out of nowhere. Well, it's John Barrowman.
Yeah. Appears out of nowhere for 5 minutes and then goes away.
Yeah.
But it's just so funny.
Did you recognise Mel Brooks' voice in Springtime for Hitler?
I knew he had cameos in this film, but I couldn't spot him anywhere.
So in Springtime for Hitler, you don't see him. You just hear his voice. See his voice.
See his voice.
Thank you.
Callback.
So the bit where they go across stage and someone says, "Don't be stupid, be a smarty. Come and join the Nazi party." That's actually Mel Brooks'. That's actually Mel Brooks' voice.
It's like moving at a faster pace, master race.
Yeah,
thought that was hilarious.
That's on James's bedroom wall.
All the lines in this song are brilliant.
But you get 3 songs: Springtime for Hitler Part 1, Heil Myself, and Part 2. And when Roger comes out as Hitler and he does like a Nazi salute into a very camp pose, I am crying. That is so funny. And then
chuckle charts going off here, yeah.
Friends, like genuinely, like, and then the partner works in lighting, so she's crying with laughter at the gobo lights, which have they're like spotlights with swastikas spinning around in them.
Yeah.
Like, and then I called the entire performance "Tits and Tanks" because it's just like scantily clad women come out dressed as tanks. What is going on? I'm like, this is better than the movie. Like someone. Fuck the producers. Someone put on a full production of Springtime for Hitler because I just need it. It's just so much better than anything else in the film.
Are these songs in the 67 version? Because I went slightly into a rabbit hole here, because if they are, and this was shown in Germany at the time, and there's some Nazis in the room watching this thing, and it's just Hitler comes out as like a, ha-ha, it's just a camp Hitler, and they're like, This is horrible.
What if they get to the end? They're like, I hate Camp Hitler, but I love that we won the war in this. They must be conflicted, and in their minds, like, we need a camp dictator.
We won, but at what cost?
So Springtime for Hitler is on the soundtrack for the original producer. So I guess it was written for that. Yeah, I love this song. I can. If you want me to, I can sing it right now for you.
Yeah, do it.
Yep.
Get that TikTok. What time are we at?
Only 5 seconds. Only 5 seconds.
No, fuck that. Give us the whole thing. Aaron 16, nice.
What's the first line?
Oh my god, I can sing it for you right now. What are the lyrics?
No. Germany was having trouble. What a sad story. Needed a new leader to restore his former glory. Thank you.
Can we save that clip and can we put it straight after when we finally get around to doing the boy in the striped pajamas? when we're all weeping.
But here, another scene that's actually cut from the film that was filmed is, so in the original film, there's a scene that Max and Leo go to the bar at intermission of Springtime for Hitler, and they have a drink, whatever. So in this one, they were going to go meet someone and talk to someone at a bar, and the actor was going to be someone called Ernie Sabea. And do you know why that's sort of important?
For the audience's sake, enlighten me.
Yeah, we obviously we both know, but
obviously we both know. We really know.
Ernie Sabea is the voice of Pumbaa in The Lion King.
Oh,
Nathan Lane is the voice of Timon in The Lion King. And Matthew Broderick is the voice of Simba. So you'd have had all three voice actors of Timon, Pumbaa, and Simba
That's so
on
good.
the screen.
Nathan Lane's filmography is unbelievable.
Can you view that on? Is that on YouTube anywhere?
I think it is on YouTube somewhere, yeah.
Pause the pod for a second, audience. Please go watch it. Come back to us.
It's literally like a minute long and nothing's said. It's just so they're three on camera.
Didn't you enjoy that, audience? Welcome back. Sorry, James, continue.
Nathan Lane of note, he's in Lion King. Stuart Little with that annoying little mouse.
He's the cat, isn't he?
Yes, he definitely is the cat. Yeah, he's
do you
definitely
want me to rub your belly? How would you like to rub it from the inside, mouse boy?
He's in Austin Powers, the producers, obviously, the Nutcracker.
He's fantastic in Modern Family.
Yeah.
He's in Modern Family. Oh, he's so good in Modern Family.
You've also missed out. He's in a film called Birdcage with Robin Williams and Gene Hackman. R.I.P. Gene Hackman.
R.I.P. Robin Williams.
R.I.P. Robin Williams. Yeah, but Gene Hackman's more recent. Which is a great film, which is based on a French play called La Cage à Faux. And he's also in a film called Mousetrap with Lee Evans as well, which is a great film. Mousetrap, Mouse Hunt. I can't remember which way around it's called, but one of those.
It's rubbish though, because at the end they set off the trap and the little cage comes down the little pole and lands on top of them. Welcome to the Three Takes of Nathan Lane.
I would love to be a Nathan Lane only podcast. And then we get into the scene of where did we, like, again, this is a song in the play that's cut called Where Did We Go Right, which is basically Max and Leo just arguing over, like, you know, give me the fat books, fatty.
He's like, screw it. The play's good. We're gonna have to pay everyone back. We're gonna make no money, and give me the books. I'm turning myself into who? The IRS.
I love this bit. I love the whole film, but it's so good. And I love the bit of, like, it's a bit of a callback. There's a joke that's a callback to, like, where they meet, where Leo jumps on Max, and it's a callback to the first scene where Leo goes, "Are you gonna jump on me?"
Yeah.
And I love Roger and Carmen Gia coming into, like, you know, that's a way to celebrate where they're basically just miming having sex on the floor. I love all the slapstick. I love all the slapstick. And then Franz comes in, tries to kill them all, and he keeps going,
"You've broken the Siegfried oath.
Why are you, like, stop moving so I can shoot you?"
And he's in, like, casts on his leg, arm, hip, everything, and he's trying to shoot them.
And then Max tries to go, "Kill the actors. That's how you stop them laughing at Hitler." And then Leo goes, "You can't kill them. They're humans." He's like, "Well, have you ever eaten with one?"
I was a bit shocked here at Max Bialystock. I was like, "Whoa, you're clearly like a dodgy guy, but this is next level."
But he's ruined him. They're going to go to prison. And I love in the original film, it's actually, instead of killing the actors, if I remember rightly, they go and try and blow up the theatre.
What the fuck?
Yeah, that's how they try and stop the play from being done in the original.
And that's how Inglourious Bastards was born.
The police coming in to arrest Franz, really, but then one of them finding the books.
But I love
when he finds the book, he finds the books, he goes, show the IRS. And this one says, do not, under any circumstances, show the IRS.
So it's actually, I found these two accounting books. What do they say on them? Show the IRS. The other? Never show the IRS.
Why is he Welsh? Why is he Welsh?
Oh, someone was, and then he. But speaking of your,
I really enjoyed very quickly.
he does an Irish accent.
I really enjoyed Nathan Lane of going. His whole bit of like, oh, the name's all Bialystok. I came in to see what the hell was going on, and I'm gonna leave before my voice gets any higher. And as they say in the old country, taxi. Should I just quote? It's this podcast. Should I just quote the film from beginning to end?
I think I'd kill myself.
Yeah, because then you hammer home my point.
And then we see that Max is in. Ula comes in, sees Leo hanging up on the behind the door, which I'm like, how the fuck did he get there? That's my only like unreality of this film. How did he hang himself up in his coat? But anyway,
musical logic. I love that she says, "Oh, you silly man, you must have hung up your coat while you were still in it."
Still in it, yeah.
It's just stupid.
Convinced him to go to Rio with his $2 million, which you would, wouldn't you? You'd fuck your friend off.
But they play Ula as kind of expected to be a bit ditzy, but actually she's all in every scene she's in. She's way clued up on everything they're up to, and also completely for it. So as soon as the money, she's like, got the briefcase. Like, let's move to Rio.
Let's go.
$2 million to Rio, and they move to Rio.
And then we see Max in prison. He gets the postcard from Leo saying that, it's almost 11. They're going to go have sex.
Yeah, that was funny.
And then this, I love, genuinely, like, in complete sincerity. Sincerity.
Yeah.
The next song of Betrayed, I think, is amazing. This is my favourite song from the whole show.
Mm-hmm.
This song?
I love Nathan Lane's performance of it. I love the whole recounting of the previous hour or hour and a half you've just watched in this song. I think the song is so well written. I think the music is brilliant. I think the jokes are amazing. And the performance by Nathan Lane is incredible.
Tough to disagree.
I liked it. It didn't really stick out to me. I think, to be honest, at this point, I was just sad that we were back into the actual story of the film and just not watching Springtime for Hitler. And I was like, everything else in this movie is so painfully average, but that play was so good. Just take me back to that.
Brilliant. And this leads us into like we're basically at the end of the film now. This leads us into him being at court, being like tried. There's a few little cameos in the scene. Richard Kind pops up.
Yeah.
Who goes on to play who goes on to play Max Bialystok on Broadway after Nathan Lane. Which I really enjoy his line of, "We find the defendant incredibly guilty." I really enjoy like when Leo comes back and they sing Till Him. This song, I think, epitomizes what the actual show is about, because this song is basically recounting the love story of their friendship, of them actually like, Leo was a very tragic person before he met Max, and Max was a no good two-timing Broadway producer before he met Leo, and he actually found a friendship within this, and it shows that this film is fundamentally about love stories and how different love stories can come about. So you got Max and Leo, you got Leo and Ula, Roger and Carmen. In a way, you can sort of say Franz and the Führer. Yes, I knew that was going to come out.
I'll allow your point for that joke, because I disagree with you at this film being about friendship. But I don't think this film is about friendship. This film is purely about swindling the theatre industry. The themes of friendship are there, obviously, but there's no, at any point, other than Till Him, I don't think they're a driving force. Like, for most of the movie, for me, you could have, Leo and Max could have just not been friends, just colleagues. Like, there's nothing in it that shows me that they really like each other. But then Till Him, this is a very good performance from the two of them. And yeah, I like it as a realizing that they wouldn't be where they are without each other. But in terms of thinking that as an overarching theme of the movie of friendship, I just don't think that's there at all.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think that we've had many moments. I don't think we've had many moments between them where we've gone, you two really get on. It's just,
exactly.
It's like Leo's like, if we do this, we could earn like a lot of money by swindling old people.
Yeah.
And Max is like, we could swindle old people. Let's just swindle old people.
It's a failed crime movie, if anything. It's a failed, like, the friendship thing is just not there. And like as well, Ula and Leo, she just likes him. We don't get build up. There's no reason. She just takes the shine to him, and that's it.
Yeah,
that's
what love is. That's what love is. That's what love is. I met my partner. I took a shine to her. Now we're still together.
No, but you don't see anything about their relationship. It's just, I like your face. There's a song called That Face, and then all of a sudden they're boinking. Like, that's it. They're a one-night stand turned marriage with no dates and don't know each other.
You tell me you don't like your partner's face.
That's not the point.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. He just asked OJ to try on the glove.
Fucking hell. But anyway, I like how he brings Samba into the courtroom. Stop that Samba!
I really like the old. I really love the old ladies trying to help him, going, please don't help me.
And everyone dancing. That's really fun.
You know, this rolls us on to them being sentenced to, time at Sing Sing because the judge does want to break up their friendship.
Sing Sing prison,
which is a real prison, by the way.
Franz is already there.
Franz is already locked up. But I really love that they go to prison and the three of them are still like, right, let's write another musical.
Yeah, they do the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. They don't learn the lesson. They try and do the same thing. I really like the song of Prisoners of Love. I think it's a really nice, catchy song. But did you see Michael McKean pop up? Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul? Well, I mean, Better Call Saul. Alex? Have you seen Better Call Saul?
Yeah.
It's his brother. It's Chuck. He's the guy who runs in with the piece of paper going, Max, Leo, Franz!
Yeah.
You've been freed by putting song and dance into the hearts of every rapist, murderer, and sex maniac and Sing Sing. You're free.
Yeah.
Is there a reason for him to pop up, or is he just landed a role?
Just landed a role.
They take Prisoners of Love to Broadway, and it's another smash hit. And I did like the kind of like crowning achievement of Leo finally gets his hat, the hat of a producer. And then you get the wide cutaway to all of the different musicals they've put on, which reminded me of, and I assume it took it from this, just 22 Jump Street at the end where they do the credits. It's like 23 Jump Street, 24 Jump Street, 25 Jump Street.
I've not thought of that, but they could have done, yeah.
And I think that weren't they all on that wide where they're looking at all the signs of the different musicals they've put on, weren't they all, what's it called, like parodies of real music?
Yeah, or real plays. You had Cats, but with a K. You had A Streetcar Named Murray instead of A Streetcar Named Desire. There was a few others. There's one that's called Anne, or like something to do with Anne, because Mel Brooks' wife, Anne Bancroft, passed away during the production of this film. There's a few little callbacks in this to her as like a love letter to her.
Oh, that's nice.
I really enjoyed them singing Prisoners of Love, the Leo and Max version. When we take your money, never fear, we'll knock Broadway right on its ear, something like that.
Rear.
Yeah, that would be the word that rhymes. But I think them singing that, and they're still working together, I think that does sort of actually prove my point of them.
No, they're
ultimately
friends, yes.
This film is about friendship.
No, it's not.
And their
the film
friendship.
is not about friendship. There is friendship. Just because there's something in a film doesn't mean it's about it. Yes, they are friends by the end, but the film isn't about them.
Disagree.
Being friends. It's about them working together and then going, oh, actually, we work well together. You're my mate. Not a film about friendship. It's a film about ultimately a failed slapstick crime. It's a comedy crime film, which is also a musical.
My last few notes were, what a film. And then did you enjoy the song There's Nothing Like a Show on Broadway over the credits, or have you guys turned off by this point?
No, I listened to it.
No, I did not.
Alex turned it off.
Yeah.
Well, Alex, I'm very sad you didn't. Because at the end of the credits, there's a few really funny jokes right at the end of the credits that you can hear. So basically, there's after they play There's Nothing Like a Show on Broadway, you hear like a reversion of the Guten Tag Klop, and it's like a slower version of it. But right at the end, you have Will Ferrell saying, "Don't forget to buy your copy of Mein Kampf in paperback."
I didn't get to that bit. I turned off.
Available at Borders or Barnes & Noble or Amazon.com.
That's funny.
And then afterwards, after the credits roll, you get a little like scene of them singing Goodbye, which is what they sing at the end of the show. It's basically saying, get the fuck out, there's nothing left. If you love it, recommend it to everyone you've ever known. And if you don't like it, keep your big mouth shut.
Just the same with the Three Takes of Stupidity. After this episode, fuck off and tell everyone you loved it. Thanks.
And right at the end, you get Mel Brooks singing Goodbye, get out, it's over. So you do get a cameo of Mel Brooks right at the end.
Yeah, I checked out at this point.
Terrible.
As soon as a song that we heard so I listened to the Broadway song, but then as soon as it was a song we heard in the film, I was like, okay, that's the credits done. For me. Bye-bye.
And that's the end of the film. And I loved it. And I loved watching it. I'm really glad I picked this.
Now it's time for our take. And to get us started, I think it should be the member of us that would have gave up quite a lot of members of the French Resistance. It's James Robbins.
Absolutely not. I'd have just cut a finger off to make sure I never go to war. Takes. Not a great film. Not a great film. It's. I like how it's a bit of an ode and callback to classic musicals. It's a bit different from what I'm used to. That was nice. As I said in the episode, the best part of the movie is the play, Springtime for Hitler. Hilarious, fun. I'd much rather see a full production of Springtime for Hitler than this movie again. Just a gay World War II romp with a Camp Hitler. Fantastic, hilarious, brilliant. That's so amazing. It's incredible how the rest of the film falls flat for me, really. The performances are very good, don't get me wrong. I think Nathan Lane's fantastic. I think Matthew Broderick's fantastic. I think Uma Thurman's fantastic. They're all very, very good with what they have to work with. But for me, it just didn't hit. It was fine. It was fun. I will admit, I enjoyed it way more for Springtime for Hitler and afterwards. That was great. That was a lot of fun. It was really funny, but it just takes so long to get there, and it just wasn't that enjoyable before that, to be honest. Would I recommend it? I'd recommend you go watch the Springtime for Hitler part, but I wouldn't recommend you necessarily go and watch the film. It's not like horrendous by any means, but yeah, not my favourite. And I think Chandler, fair enough. I'm not surprised he loves it, loves musicals, and has nostalgia for it. And I think nostalgia is a very, very powerful thing when deciding whether you like something or not. It's part of the reason there's things I won't go back and watch because I don't want to ruin the experience I had for things in the past. Tried that with High School Musical, loved that when I was 10. And that's rubbish. Why we didn't do it this trilogy. But yeah, I'm glad I watched it.
Before we get Alex's take, I am just going to say this right now. How the dare you compare this to High School Musical?
Oh, it's way better than High School Musical. Don't worry.
How dare you?
It's way better than High School Musical.
Alex?
I think this is one of the films that I was really looking forward to. I think I started too high and got hit with Paris Syndrome massively. It's a film that I've always wanted to watch, and I've seen so many people reference how good it is. I've seen references to it in other media like South Park, Family Guy, Curb Your Enthusiasm. It's in there quite a lot. Like, I've seen it everywhere. People hold it in very high regard. I didn't feel it. It's quotable. It's very quotable. On a scale of quotable, it's very high. As a general musical, if I was to compare it to the other two, it beats Mamma Mia, because Mamma Mia just wasn't for me. However, I think Tick Tick Boom was much better. Like, I don't think there was a single song in this I would listen to again. The feel-good factor, I don't think, was there, really. I laughed occasionally.
How is this not a feel-good film?
I enjoyed, the quotes, but it didn't stay with me.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go on.
You say you preferred this to Mamma Mia, but for me, I thought Mamma Mia was a far better movie. As a film, even if I wasn't the target demographic, better film. Whereas this, probably the target demographic.
What, Nazi?
If you're Nazis would hate this. What are you talking about? And you love it, so what does that say about you? Go on, show us your tattoo on your chest.
I think this is up there as one of the, not the worst films, but the lesser good films that we've done. Yeah, I know. Your face, I know. It's not quite Digimon bad, but Digimon wasn't a film.
I think this is Chandler's Digimon experience.
I don't think it's that bad. I think it's generally as a movie.
I'd much prefer, maybe love to see it on stage. I think I'd love to see it on stage and really enjoy it. But as a film, it was crap. Probably. Are you in the same boat?
Yeah. It felt weird watching a musical on screen. Like a stage musical on screen.
Whereas the others have been good adaptations.
I love watching Hamilton. I didn't get that from Hamilton. I don't know what it was about it.
Good.
There's a feel.
The vibe.
Yeah. Anyway, Chandler, now that we've just taken it down, want to build it back up again?
So, I'm just going to start this off. My take.
He's going to tell us we're wrong first.
Correct. You are wrong about this film. This film it's amazing satire I think it's amazing satire of not just Nazis, but amazing satire of, I think, Broadway and production and entertainment as a whole as well. Of like, you know, Leo keeps saying to him, like, we're in too deep. Like, let's stop giving oaths to Hitler. And Leo and Max is like, no, I'll tell you when we're in too deep. And like, it only comes out at the end when they fuck their entire plan of like, yeah, okay, now we're in too deep. I think it's just a brilliant satire of the whole entertainment industry, and also, like as we said in Tick Tick Boom, like the entertainment industry is just about the bottom line, and this is them just thinking about their own pockets, and it's a satire of that, and it's a satire of Hitler and Nazis as well, all wrapped up in with that. And I'm genuinely very surprised that both of you didn't like it. I will say that I'm glad that both of you are up to going seeing it actually on stage. Because as we know, I love going to musicals. So I think when it goes to the West End in August, I think we should have a 3 takes outing. All 3 of us go see it on stage, which I think will be a very good
3 takes day out.
A 3 takes day out.
Road trip.
As a whole, I think I love the film. The music and the music and the songs in it are fantastic. They're all worth listening to again. As I said earlier on, I listen to this soundtrack fairly regularly because I find it funny. I love it. It brings a smile to my face listening to all of this. Being caught listening to a song called Springtime for Hitler in public is a bit weird sometimes, but it's fine. So yeah, I don't listen to James and Alex. If you watch this film, go watch this film. I highly recommend it. It is brilliant. Go watch this. Go watch the original. Go watch it on stage if you can. Amazing.
Is it worse being caught listening to Springtime for Hitler or worse being caught listening to Heil myself?
Not a clue. Both as bad as each other.
I'd say so. I think you're right. It's great satire, but the presentation's just not there. Like, you can have great content, but the presentation be poor. And I think that is the case here.
I completely disagree with you. I completely disagree with you. I think you're wrong. You are wrong.
We're an opinions-based podcast. None of this is factual.
But moving on from that, it is, at the end of every trilogy, rankings.
Go on, James. You go first.
Number 1 is so obvious. It's Tick Tick Boom. It's one of my favourite movies anyway, regardless of this trilogy. It's far and away substantially better than either of these other movies. It's so much better. It's unbelievable. And then Mamma Mia, way better movie presentation of a musical for me. And then The Producers just fell flat.
Wrong. I'm gonna go with, and I'm gonna be controversial here. I'm gonna go.
Producers number 1. No, you can't. No joints. Cop out.
No joints.
No joints. Pathetic.
No,
Pathetic,
you can't be jointing. No joints.
No joints. Your opinion is void otherwise. No.
We're an opinion-based podcast.
No, you can't have joints.
No, you can't have joints.
No joints. No joints. No.
Right. Here's why I'm saying joint first.
No, come on, we're not children. Pick a winner.
I can't believe. Yeah, with no fucking points for participation. No.
Right.
And I'm not having it either.
Can I finish what I was going to fucking say, please?
No, because you're going to make a joint
place.
Yes, in first place. Commit, because you don't want to be called an imbecile and say this is clearly your favourite. But you won't commit because you're scared.
The lines have been closed in first place on this season of the X Factor.
Up.
1,
Chandler.
First, second, third.
Shut up.
No joints.
Shut up. But here's the thing, right? Tick Tick Boom and the Producers.
Oh my god,
some of my favorite films. But you have to be in a certain mood to watch either one of those. Thereby, joint first. And then in third is Mamma Mia.
No way, joint first.
Alex,
there is. I don't care if you have to be in a different mood. There is quality here. First, second, third, Chandler.
If you
had to, gun to your head. We don't do this, and we're never doing this again. Gun to your head. First, second, third. Gun to your head.
This is a really strange home invasion, if this is what they're asking him.
I'd die.
No.
Alex,
you know what it is.
Alex, what's your ranking?
Alex, what's your ranking? Put Producers first, because you'll be made fun of.
No, because I love Tick Tick Boom. No, because I love Tick Tick Boom as well.
Boom first instead of the Producers first, so I'm going to say that Tick Tick Boom was top of his podium. For me, I agree with Chandler. Tick Tick Boom is the best film. And James, we're all in agreement here that Tick Tick Boom was the best. I'm going to go producers in second because at the end of the day, very quotable boards, Mel Brooks, just comedy, and everyone likes a comedy. And Mamma in third because we had to listen to Pierce Brosnan sing.
ABBA are crying. ABBA are crying right now.
I don't think ABBA are crying for me out the money they made from it, but anyway.
No, true.
The curtain has come down and Hitler is entering his hot girl summer. And James has been handed back his hat, his coat, and his swastika. This is the last episode of the Musicals Trilogy. Our next trilogy will be, drumroll please, the Oscars 2025. If you have any suggestions, please send them to us on any of our social platforms or to our hop page, which is in the episode description. It's goodbye from Chandler.
Jawohl, auf Wiedersehen.
It's goodbye from James.
Tschüss.
And it's goodbye from me. Goodbye. Before we go, we just have something to clarify. We were never members of the Nazi Party. We were just following orders.
We
had nothing to do with the war. Yay! Right.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Don't forget to rate, review, and share the podcast. It really helps us grow. Follow us on all our socials, plus our individual Letterboxd accounts. The links can be found in the description at www.hopwithtwops.bio/3takes or search for 3 Takes of Stupidity on most platforms. Please send us your film and series suggestions on our Hop page or to 3takesofstupidity@gmail.com. Thank you and hope to see you soon.